Welcome to the Firearms Insider Gun and Gear Review Podcast, episode 255. On this show, we showcase gun reviews, gear, and anything else a gun enthusiast may be looking for. We strive to evaluate products from an unbiased and honest perspective. I'm your host, Chad Wallace from the Firearms Radio Network, your source for all things firearms related. In this show, we'll be discussing Daisy's new competition air rifle, Doublestar Zero carbine, and a Reptilia grip, however we pronounce it. Tonight, doesn't look like we have Rob. We just got Zane and Tony, and I have a cold, so I sound funny. So it looks like Tony is not on mute, so he gets to tell us what he did in firearms.
Woohoo! What did I do in firearms this week? I was gonna say I don't remember, and then I remembered. We did the diversity shoot this week, which was great, which was awesome. A lot of new people that I've never met before came out. A lot of friends came out, so it was great. Cool guns, fun people, and that was the last one of the year. So, yep, that was my big takeaway was diversity shoot. Took some really cool pics at Gun for Hire Range because they have over 200 rental guns. So I picked out some cool ones. So I'll be posting some of those pics up. And one of the guns is mentioned in some of the feedback we had today. So I have an opinion based on that because I got to tactically fondle the guns mentioned in the feedback. So that's what I did this week.
Hey, Zane.
I shot the We Like Shooting Shootout Challenge this week, and so that was fun. I printed my targets because I'm one of the poors, so I printed my targets. I didn't buy them, and I went and hung them up. Made a little video, posted it, and whatnot. It was a good time. It was fun. I
need to do that. Me, because of course not feeling good. I still don't feel good. I didn't do anything because I don't know, just couldn't get out. So there's that. Bandwidth sponsor is Patriot Patch Co. If you guys are interested, new patches for pre-order and the Patch of the Month Club. I do have the Patch of the Month right here, which is Santa with his night vision saying he sees you when you're sleeping. So, and it looks like the pre-orders are We're on a Mission from God patch with a squad car from, oh geez, what my mind just went blank. What is that movie?
Blues Brothers?
Yes.
I was going to say Blues Brothers, and I haven't even seen the patch. So
yeah, and then they have the Tack Driver King of Bullets patch and Send Lawyers, Guns, and Money patch. And barking dogs in the background because everybody loves them. So, yeah, don't ask me. If you want to use our GunTech affiliate link at guntechusa.com, you can do that. If you go to the Firearms Insider and click on one of the links there, it'll take you there, or the show notes. If you're shopping Amazon, please use our affiliate link there, which is firearmsradio.tv/Amazon. And I don't know. Jeez, I can't help it.
If you'd like to donate to the 2A4E diversity shoot, you can go to blackbagresources.com, and anything that you put in your cart and use the code 2A4E will be donated directly to Tony.
I didn't want to sound conceited and try to read my own kind of,
Yeah, Chad's having a rough day, so we're
See, they're still barking. Well, you know what that means. Somebody can read the disclaimer besides barking dogs.
The views and opinions expressed in this podcast are those of the individual co-host and do not reflect the official policy or position of the Firearms Radio Network and or their employers. Viewer discretion is advised. This is especially true on live shows.
Woohoo! Listen to you. Class.
I'm all professional.
I know. Can't help you there. You're pretty good at that. Maybe we should just make you do all the announcements.
Do we even need Rob?
Yes, of course we need Rob.
I'm just playing. We love Rob.
No, because if the wheels fall off and I have a straight stroke, I still want someone who reads worse than me on the show.
Nice. That's a good reason. Good reason. There is no main topic tonight, so that leads us to the product spotlight and discussion. First up is Daisy's new $5.99. And I'll explain what this is, and Tony can go off because he was a good co-host and called them. But what I'm trying to figure out is the MSRP is $595. I'm sorry, but if you're going to call it the $599 and you're going to be $4 off in the price, at least charge $599. So I could not find this on Daisy's website. It's that new. Basically, it is their 10-meter competition air rifle. And as we said, the price, it is 177 caliber. It has a power configurable cylinder that includes a pressure gauge and quick fill apparatus, whatever that is. So it says you can also shoot a complete match without having to recharge, which I think is a very good thing. Has a cold hammer forged BSA barrel. It has what looks like the airgun 10.8 millimeter dovetail scope rail. It comes with a hooded front sight and a diopter rear sight. So your standard target sights like you would want. Adjustable trigger down to 1.5 pounds. And it also will rotate right or left forward depending on what hand you are. It has an ambidextrous beechwood stock that has an adjustable comb, vertical, and length of pull adjustment. It says they're only going to issue 300 of these in 2018. So, I don't know about 2019. I saw this. I thought I'd throw it in there. I used to shoot small bore, not air rifle when I was a kid. And I think Tony actually shot air rifle. But if you're into this stuff, I think this might be like a really good beginner style air rifle. Tony, take it away.
Yeah. All right. Daisy does a big time international BB rifle at 5 meters. So they have some awesome stuff at 5 meters. And what happened was they got some stuff together with some coaches, and they pretty much hand built a rifle based on some specs by putting stuff together. And Daisy was like, let's build this. So they went to Spain and got Gamo, which is a huge Spanish rifle builder. And they got BSA, which of course is out of Britain. And and had them make some barrels. So people go, well, what's the point of this? This is a competition barrel. This is air gun shooting 10 meters. The 10 ring in a 10-meter air gun competition is the size of a pencil eraser.
So it's about 1/4 of an inch.
Looking at it head on, yeah. It's 1/4 of an
inch. And there's a dot in the middle, which is considered the X, right?
Well, that's the X.
You have to get the dot. Otherwise, it's a 10, right?
It's about double the size of a regular pellet. So these are high-end guns, very, very, very accurate. And usually in this price point, they're black plastic. You know what I mean? The furniture is black plastic, and it's at the lower end of the price point. Well, they put some money in it, and they have the really nice wood. They have it all shiny and decent for you. So that's their thing. They make 300 of them, and that's it. So my school actually had the air rifles, but they weren't PCP, which is they're not charged up. They're charged up with an air tank or a compressor. So that's what it means by that whole quick connect. You stick it in, you look at the meter, and you get it up to whatever the pressure is. Usually it's like 200 bar or like, I forgot what actual number that is. That's an old school measure, I think. And then you can shoot all day. You don't have to cock it. You don't have to do any of that stuff. And the adjustability is ridiculous. You can do length of pull. You can do height. You can do trigger pull. If you're right-handed or left-handed, you can actually swing the trigger over so it's underneath your finger. And, of course, you want a really, really, really light trigger when you're doing this because these are 4 shooting positions. What is it? Standing, kneeling, prone. Standing, kneeling, prone.
Sitting.
Yeah, sitting. That's it. And, so once you lock into position, you don't want to do a lot of movement. So pretty much when you think about shooting, that gun goes off. So I think it's pretty cool that Daisy's getting into this. It's not up on their website yet. If you've never been into this, you can go to their website and check it out. And you can even see they have $400 BB guns for their 5-meter challenge. So yeah, Daisy's in there. Not top. I mean, it's not like top of the line. I can't even say Ojush or whatever the name of
And shoots.
And shoots. Yeah,
However you pronounce it. Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of them, and it's a lot more money than this. So this cool Daisy's in on it.
And Tony was saying before the show, which I will like to reiterate, that if you're really, really good at something like this, you can get college scholarships for small bore and air rifle. So, there's always that chance, which I don't think a lot of people know that those scholarships are out there.
Yeah, I mean, because of the shooting sports thing, and that's also another reason I try to introduce people to every aspect of this, is I've watched documentaries on people doing the air gun shoots and the 22 shoots, and I'm talking about they're going to University of West Virginia, they're going to University of Wisconsin. So it's not as if they're going to a small school you haven't heard of. These are big schools with big programs, and also the U.S. Olympic team has this stuff. So I'm just saying, before you poo-poo it and go, it's just an air gun, understand a huge future can be opened up by getting into the sport. You don't have to be super athletic. You don't have to be a jock to shoot.
Yeah, you can be fat like me.
You could be fat and out of shape like myself.
Yeah. So me being completely ignorant to the air rifle sports, when I first saw this, I was like, who the F is going to pay $600 for a BB gun? But then I got to looking at it, and like what you guys are talking about, I'm like, actually, this is pretty good price for an entry-level gun into those sports, if that's what you want to get into. So
yeah, because if you really look into some stuff, like you can look at Air Arms, which is another company that has awesome stuff, and you find out that their guns are like $1,500, $2,000, $2,500 for an air gun. But we're talking headshots on pigeons at like 70 yards.
Yeah.
Pigeons? What about squirrels and chipmunks?
Heck, what's it?
Just saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the name of Ted's?
I've heard pigeons are good to eat. I haven't personally tried them, but
Yeah.
Dang, there's a guy named Ted. He does some videos. I forget, it's Ted's Holdover or Ted's something. Anyway, he does pest control in farms in the Midwest here. And he also hunts. And dude, he's 70, 80 yard shots. It's just awesome.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think it's Ted's Holdover.
Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was cool. Even Zane, I think, came around.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking at especially if you're trying to get your kids into the shooting sports, and there's a club or something around you that offers 10-meter air, this is a good way to get them into it, because like Tony and Chad were saying, there are potential scholarships of it, for one, and for two, anytime you're pulling the trigger and having a good time, you're embodying what the Second Amendment is, and whether it's a firearm or an air rifle, you're still out there pulling the trigger, having a good time, learning the safety aspect, learning the basics, the fundamentals,
and you're really team. And you're on the team.
Yeah, and you learn some team camaraderie, and I don't know. I came around to it when I first looked at the show notes. I was like, that's dumb, but I did a little research, and we had a little back and forth before the show, and
yeah, my junior ROTC did this, so they might be in your area because they were able to use scholarship money, and I think Boy Scout units also do this. So hey guys, just something new, something different. Check out Daisy's website, because they also have the BB guns that aren't as expensive. We're talking like $150.
Well, it's Christmas time. You can get your Red Ryder.
Oh, they have the adult Red Riders, right?
Yes, I know.
Yeah, they're sold out.
Yeah, I saw that too.
Dude, they sold out. So I was just talking to them, and they said, got some new ones in. We're getting them to you as soon as possible. But it's like there's right now, I was talking to him. He said there's no guarantee there everyone will get theirs before Christmas. And he was like, "Yo, just tell them we'll get them. We'll get them as soon as possible." But I don't think they expected that many people to want a adult size Red Ryder BB gun.
Yeah, I don't think they did either. I mean, that's my
Hey, it's hit
opinion.
or miss, dude. How much money do you put into making an adult size Red Ryder?
Well, that's true. I mean, it's
So
kind of like,
they made a few hundred before it hits the website. All they had was the phone number, and sold them almost all out.
yeah, yeah.
Well, and the other thing about air guns, not this one specifically, it's not really designed for that, but in general, in most places, it's not against the law to shoot an air gun in your backyard.
Correct. Like where I live in the city limits, even though the city limits end in literally like a block. But
right.
But you could literally go in your backyard with this because it's not against the law to shoot an air rifle in the city limits.
And ammo's very cheap. So,
yeah.
So I mean, and
as
trigger,
long as you're not
and
getting
trigger
target
time.
ammo.
Yeah, and trigger time is trigger time. So like if you can't get to a range very often, whether it be pistol or rifle, if you get a decent, now if you don't go get the $19 BB gun from Walmart, you're probably not going to do yourself any favors. But if you get yourself a decent air rifle, whether it be pistol or whether an air rifle or air pistol or something, you can actually get decent practice because sights and triggers and grip are a thing.
They are.
And they kind of span platforms. So, I mean, you can get good practice with non-firearm guns.
See, and if you do I heard this from Michael Bain on one of his podcasts. See, and if you're into that stuff, if you want to go safari hunting, you get animal crackers and you set them up around your yard and you go hunting. And then when you shoot them, then it gets the pigeons to come in.
Hey,
I'm adding that. See, so,
but yeah, dude, I really like air guns. Always have, especially living here in Jersey, where they are a firearm. By the way, just to blow your mind, and you need a firearms ID card and all that jazz if you try to buy one here. But it is so much fun to just take this out in the backyard, or you can do it in the house with the right pellet trap. I use duct seal. I don't know if you guys know what that is. It's that putty. Duct seal, build a trap, and all the pellets will be stopped by the duct seal. You shoot them in something the size of a regular box with the duct seal in the back, catches all the rounds, and you don't have to worry about lead being smashed up all over the place.
Yeah. I personally use about 8 or 10 collapsed Bud Light boxes taped together.
Well, I was going to say you could use old phone books, but nobody knows what that is anymore.
Yeah, no one gets that reference. Phone.
Yeah,
book.
No one has phone books.
Yeah, that's right.
Everyone's got Bud Light boxes. At least they should.
No.
At your trailer park, at least. Yeah. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well,
catch your bullet, boy.
There's that.
Next up, we have Doublestar's Zero Carbine. The MSRP on this is $1479.99. And what they say about this is it's not just another 16-inch barrel M-Lock handguard rifle. Basically, it's kind of what they think everybody would want in a 16-inch carbine. It does have a 1-in-8 twist Wilson air gauged barrel. It is 5.56. It is a stainless barrel as opposed to a steel barrel, as opposed to some other type of 4150 or something steel. It has a free float handguard, as you already kind of know. It has their alpha comp on it. Their handguard is their cloak M-Lock 15.5 inch. It is a flat top. Basically, let's see if there's anything out of the standard. It does have a standard trigger group, which kind of surprised me. But hey, it does have a winter trigger guard, billet backbone charging handle, so it's a little bigger. And, I threw this in there. It's got an Ace adjustable stock, which is kind of cool. I can see how they would think that this might be something that kind of the be all generic AR-15 that's not, inexpensive and not overpriced. So I put it in here. It looked like a decent rifle. I'm a little put back by the price considering what ARs go for nowadays. But I know the Ace stocks Doublestar owns them, but they aren't super cheap.
No, not at all.
They're good stocks. I like them.
I'm very agnostic to this rifle. There's really no other way to put it. Because I'm not super familiar with the brand. It looks good at face value. The price is, the price is up there with other brands that I know for a fact are good guns, and I am very familiar with. So, like I said, agnostic about it. I'm not going to poo-poo it, but I'm not going to praise it either. I just
let me throw this out there. Give you an idea. Doublestar's been around for a long time. Doublestar has teams and everything else, and they make decent rifles. They don't have the name of other people. So dropping $1,400 is that middle point where it's not a top end AR price or top end AR manufacturer, and it's not the bottom end AR price or manufacturer. So they're in that bunched up middle spot. Why would I choose Doublestar? You know what I mean? Over, let's say, Sons of Liberty, who has stuff in this same price point. And I'm like, okay. So I'm checking it out. They say they tell me how the barrel is gauged. That Wilson is not a Wilson barrel, right? That's just how they gauge it.
No,
so
I
whose
think
barrel?
I think it is a Wilson barrel.
Wilson air gauge barrel. Okay.
Right.
Okay. Cool.
That's...
Wilson air gauge barrel. It's stainless. They have a regular trigger group in it, so there's nothing extraordinary about that. There's nothing extraordinary about their upper or lower. It might just be a well put together gun. Ace stocks, I feel I like them, but now to the point where I can get something lighter. And they put no weight on this. How much does this rifle weigh?
Yeah, I kind of wondered that too because I couldn't find it.
So this falls in again under the interface between me and the company is their website. They have a video. They still don't tell me how much the thing weighs. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's one thing I looked for when I was looking for it when I was looking at it before the show. Because for some reason I was thinking Doublestar was one of the lightweight guys, but I guess I was wrong. But for some reason it was in my head that's what they were. So I was really looking for the weight, and I'm like, oh, they don't specify anywhere how much it weighs. All right.
Now they make 1911s too, and we had them on the show. We were talking about them on the show before, going, why would I buy a 1911 from Doublestar? You know what I mean? Because they're $1,900 1911s.
Right.
I think if this gun were $500 cheaper, it would be.
I think it would be a hot ticket at $500 cheaper.
Yeah, but I mean, like Tony said, man, at this price point, I'm gonna get a Sons of Liberty. I'm gonna get a BCM. I'm gonna get a higher end FN or something. Or I'm going to save a few more pennies and I'm just going to go crazy and get a Knights or, something. I'm not too familiar with the brand enough to pay that money when there's other companies out there that I'm very familiar with that have the track record. And again, maybe I just am not familiar with the brand. I don't want to just completely crap all over them. But,
years ago, I had a couple of their stripped lowers, and they were fine. I mean, it wasn't like they had any problems. I do know that those stripped lowers had a really nice anodizing on them. They were some of the prettier ones that I have had go through my parts bins.
And the sad part is, they're falling in the crack. Who are you? Making a good product. I listen to Sons of Liberty a lot. I listen to Mike from Sons of Liberty. Actually, we've texted each other back and forth. I've recommended his products, but I know him through shows. You know what I mean? I know his knowledge of ARs through shows. But then you have companies that will remain nameless that we all know that just throw ARs together so you don't know who you're dealing with if they don't have a face, if they don't have a presence. And then when you look at their website, they give you enough for pretty much a description from a Cabela's catalog, which is horrible.
Yeah.
And that's it. So, hey, you guys, you want someone to check out your stuff, man, do a better job describing it. You left, and it's not like a deal breaker is the weight, but weight is what pretty much every manufacturer puts in their catalog.
Oh yeah. I like everybody.
Yeah, and the whole weight thing is not nearly as important to me as it
No.
seems to be to a lot of people, but it seems to be to a lot of people.
Right.
So,
But it was also conspicuous that it's not there.
yeah, and like
Yeah.
you said, Mike from Sons of Liberty, he's been on several, very respectable podcasts, and I've listened to him talk, and his knowledge base is pretty extensive. Like he's a pretty smart guy when it comes to the AR. So, like you said, if I'm going to spend $1,500-$1,600 on a gun, it's not going to be from this company who doesn't even put their weight on their website. It's going to be from a company where the owner knows their stuff, and I can prove he knows their stuff.
Okay, and you know something else that bothers me a little bit? And again, nothing's a deal breaker with this except I don't know Doublestar. They have a regular GI trigger and a $1,400 pistol.
Yeah.
And their reason is people change people change out the triggers all the time. So why bother? You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, well, people change out the buttstock, the pistol grip, the hand guards. Why don't you just sell a GI?
Well, I absolutely agree with their sentiment on that. If it were a $800 rifle, if it were a $900 rifle, just like I completely understand why Glock puts plastic sights on their entry level guns. But if I'm gonna spend the coin for
$1,400,
something that's not an entry level gun, I'm not going to be replacing stuff on it because that's what I'm paying for. I'm paying for a company that knows how to put a gun together better than I can, so I can be sure the gun will work. Like,
and you can always put on the ACT trigger from ALG.
Yes.
Or even their other trigger. I'm sorry. What is the name of their other trigger that is just a GI, but they've knocked the burrs off of it, and it's like $30-something bucks.
Oh yeah, I
the
know
MCT or something like that. Yeah. Anyway, you could use that, but you use a regular GI trigger on a $1,400 rifle, where you use a stainless steel barrel. You know what I mean? Was that 416 stainless? Did they say?
I didn't say that. I could see.
So I don't know what that is either. It's a Wilson barrel. I assume it's a quality barrel because it's from Wilson. But what I'm saying is, you put that. The barrel is great. I have no idea what bolt carrier group you're using or anything like that.
I think it's just a standard.
And you're using a regular G. So where is the $1,400 I'm getting out of this?
Yeah,
man, it's M-Lock handguard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, so my thing, especially going back to the trigger, is my thing. Like, if I'm gonna buy a cheap AR, knowing I'm gonna replace parts, that's one thing. But I also understand that I'm not a gunsmith. I'm not an armorer. I'm not a manufacturer, that I cannot build a gun as well as a quality manufacturer can. And that is the reason I'm willing to pay more for a quality built gun. When I'm looking at this gun that has basically GI stuff all over the place, I'm like, well, I'm paying for the expertise. Like you said, with Sons of Liberty or with BCM or with whatever, I'm paying because they know more about ARs than I do. And I'm not an expert at putting guns together because, despite popular belief, ARs are not Legos, right? Like, there are tolerance issues and things that regular people don't quite understand. And so I just don't know about paying this price for something that appears to have pretty much basic internals, just with some fancy external upgrades.
Yeah, it has a stock from a company they own. So, yeah, because Ace stocks are expensive. Ace stocks are well over $250 for stock, when I can have a Mission First tactical stock that weighs less and costs less. You know what I mean?
Oh, I hear you.
I'm just saying, again, not condemning the company, going, you haven't explained to me why this is $1,400 at all.
Right. And if in their write up they tried to explain why, then that would make more sense, but they didn't. Okay. Well, now we're on to an AR grip. It is Reptilia, and it is their CQG grip. If you could pronounce that, you're doing better than me. It has an MSRP of a whole $19.95. So, we went from inexpensive to, overpriced to, hey, even Tony can afford this.
Uh,
Basically, it's a new pistol grip. It has like kind of a half beaver tail on it. It is more vertical grip angle. So, like if you're shooting a rifle with the stock compressed or an SBR, you want something to that effect, or typically you do. It does have anti-slip like tread on the front and back of it. It does, as Tony said, it has like palm swells to some extent. It's a polymer. It fits pretty much anything an AR grip will fit. And even though I'm in America, they put a weight in here, if whatever 77 grams is. And it comes in black.
All right. There you go. So you got all the options. You can have any one you want as long as it's in black.
That's right, Henry.
That's 2.7 ounces.
Well, congratulations.
Oh, look at that.
Somebody
smarties.
did the maths.
I totally Googled it. I didn't do the math.
Oh, believe me, I know you didn't do the math, dude.
And the thing is I didn't really care what it weighed. But because
somebody might.
The last one didn't have a weight. I figured we got to at least give them props for having a weight in there.
All right. I call this company too. Spoke to Nick. Nick was telling me how this was actually developed as part of another program for short barrel rifles and things like the Honey Badger. More vertical, because I have this thing with the law enforcement stock. My AR with this Leo entry stock, which is good, 11-inch reach or pull. So it's a stubby stock. And with the A2 grip, it's all tight back here. This gives you, I guess, more room. I contacted them. I'm getting one sent out, so I'll be able to tell you firsthand how it is. But these guys all worked for Magpul at one time, the two owners of this company. So they worked and designed stuff for Magpul. They also one worked for Silence Co., one worked for the company that actually developed the Honey Badger. So they have years of industry experience. One of the big things they make are mounts for optics. And that's really their big thing. They were like, this is an A2. I mean, this is a pistol grip. There's nothing really exciting about it. It's nothing hugely different. It's just, this is their version of it. I can't wait to get my hands on it to check it out, because you guys all sent me hundreds of A2 pistol grips. So it'll be nice to get something different. Thanks, fellas. But
You're welcome.
I'm just going to see. I'm going to see how it works on this, and I'll be able to tell you. But keep an eye on this company, because, again, from the track record that the owners of this company has, and the fact that they're putting out a lot of stuff, they're only a year and a half old. So they're putting out a lot of stuff. So keep an eye on them. You may see the new hotness from them. They may be the new It Company come SHOT Show. You know what I mean?
Hey. I hear you. So, yeah, I figured that would be kind of quick. So, I mean, what can you say about a grip? I mean,
yeah, I don't get excited over pistol grips.
It's
whatsoever.
New. What excites me is they're sending Tony one, so Tony will tell us what he thinks of it.
I mean, that's cool, but how many ways can you make a pistol grip?
Well, look at the A2.
Well, if you want to look in my bag over here, at least 4. 5 different pistol grips. I have one from Fab Defense. I have a bunch of A2s. I have an A1. I have one that's done with 3D printing. So yeah, there's a few ways you could do it.
I got two different ones. I got an A2 and I got one from Magpul, and I don't really notice a difference.
Hey, Tony had a Timber
Just grab the
Creek one that I
gun
sent him.
and I shoot the gun.
Yeah, and I got a couple Timber Creek ones on the gun. So yeah, you can feel the difference in them. I'm not saying something's like, oh my God, I can't believe it changed the total way I felt about firearms. I hated guns before, but now I love them. No, it's a freaking pistol grip, dude. But once you get into it, once you start shooting, there are things you tweak. You know what I mean? They're little things you touch and you like the feel of it. You like this charging handle opposed to this charging handle. Now, usually, most of us can just get by with the stock rifle. And I love the people that act like they can't. Meanwhile, you stay your entire time in the military using a freaking stock rifle. But somehow you get out and you need to tweak everything on it. But it's just more options we have. I think it's cool. There's nothing exciting or groundbreaking about it. It's just another pistol grip. And when you do a build and throw all your stuff up online, people go, who the heck is that? That looks cool. That looks different. It's not the same one as everybody else has.
Yep. So our listener feedback is a question, and I'm going to answer it very generically, but it is from Sean E. And it says, what is your opinion about the Beretta APX full-size or compact models? Seems a bit wide to me in the slide. A necessary accommodation? I guess, for the removable trigger firing group? Is it a flash in the pan, a good gun, a reasonable contender in the plastic fantastic market, or just a one-off trying to make money back for a lost contract? My guess, what I'm going to say here is Beretta makes decent guns. So will it stick around? I don't know. I mean, that's about all I can say about it. And I don't think Beretta needs to make money back for a lost government sale, considering all the stuff they make.
No, considering the M9.
You mean I was thinking Beretta shotguns.
No, I mean they made some money on M9s back in the day.
They made a buttload.
Yeah. I've shot the
they're
APX.
trying to make money. If they're trying to make money, they're going to try to make money off the M9A3 that they didn't get.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Now I've shot the APX. Tony, you've shot the APX, right?
I've dry fired the APX. I didn't shoot it. I dry fired.
I've shot it live fire. I did not dislike it by any means. I felt like the grip was considerably thinner than a Glock or an M&P or something of that. I actually liked the trigger. It didn't have much of a reset, but I don't really care about reset because
you always go
like
full extreme.
It doesn't matter. Like I don't pin and reset because I'm not living in the 90s. So yeah,
we were like 2 in the 90s.
Four, but but yeah, no, I shot one. I had a guy bring one to a recall class, and I was like, dude, let me shoot that thing, just because I'd never shot one. I did not dislike the gun. It's not my favorite gun I've ever shot, but I certainly wouldn't discount it if it's got if the reliability's there, which I assume it is. I would have no qualms about it at all.
I looked it up.
Okay.
On there, and the MSRP on them is like $575, so it's not like they're.
No,
so
it's right in there with Glock and M&P and the 509 and the CZ P10C, and it's it's made to compete with those guns.
Right.
All right. Here's where I'm at with this. Beretta makes good guns. Yep. Beretta has been making guns as a family business since the 1400s. They've been making guns for the government since before America, all right, was like found. So they know what they're doing when it comes to handguns. I'm not saying that, just because based on age, I'm saying because of track record. I checked it out. Now, the difference between actually firing it and dry firing it is huge. I dry fired it and I didn't like the trigger. The trigger was somewhere between a stock Glock trigger and a high point trigger. I was not impressed. But again, I did not make the gun go bang. I made the gun go click. The size, I like the size. It's a little bit bigger than Glock 19. It was enough for me to get my whole hand on it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um,
But the grip's a little thinner than a Glock 19.
okay, cool. But here's my issue with a lot of people. Everybody wants to be different with the same dang thing. Everybody wants to act like they're different, and everyone uses a Glock 19. Everyone uses a Glock 17. Everybody puts the same stuff on it. Why not reach out, pick up a CZ P10? Why don't you pick up a 509 or get this Beretta and just be different, dude? Like the PX, what is it, PX4?
Yeah. That's
cool
their hammer gun.
Dude.
Yep.
Cool gun, dude. Great trigger on that sucker before you do anything to it. But people won't give it a chance because everybody didn't buy into it. Like what, the new hotness finally is a VP9 from HK. But after everybody dog piled on it, you know what I mean? Why don't you get ahead of the curve? Why don't you just go to the beat of your own drummer?
Here's the thing with it, man. Like there's so many people like me who have been shooting Glocks for 10 years. And 10 years ago, you had Glock or you had the brand new Smith & Wesson M&P. Like that, unless you wanted a double single gun, unless you wanted a SIG P226 or a Beretta 92, like that, those were your choices.
Yeah. But guess
that's
what?
I'm totally invested in the platform now. I have 100 magazines, 17 holsters, like mag carriers. So I'm not going to switch. I'm going to keep shooting Glocks. But if you're not already invested in a platform, there are other guns out there that are amazing. Probably better than Glock. I'm not going to say better than Glock, but I'm going to say they might be better than Glock. But and I would put the Beretta, APX in the category of competing with them. I mean, the trigger it's mushy. It's nothing special, and the reset's horrible on it. But if reset's your thing, then if you need a good reset, get a Glock. But if you don't give a damn about reset, which
I thought if you wanted a good reset, you got a 1911.
Oh, there you go.
Which Tony has been shooting since 1911.
Well, and that's just the thing, man. The aftermarket's probably not there on the Beretta yet, but I thought the grip was a little thinner. It was much thinner than like a Gen 3 Glock, but it was comfortable. It shot flat. I only put a mag or a mag and a half through it. So like, I'm totally not an expert on the APX, but in general, I did not dislike the gun. And like what Tony was saying, if you're not invested in a platform, look at the Berettas. Look at the CZs, look at the FNs, look at the M&Ps, look at the Glocks, look at the HKVP series. You don't have to get a Glock anymore. Now, you totally should. You totally should.
I've been saying this. I've been saying this for years, man. We are in the golden age. We've never had a chance at this many quality pistols, because this came from the military trials also. So we had FN's entrance. We had SIG's entrance. We had the Smith & Wesson. We have this from Glock. Dude, all of these things stand up to a very, very, very high round count.
Heck, and even Ruger submitted something, didn't they?
Honestly, though, I don't think this gun was even submitted to the handgun trials. I think they submitted their 92 A3. So A3. I don't even think the APX in question here was even submitted.
Sure.
So I could be wrong, but I don't think it was even submitted. I think they just released this for the civilian market. And I could be totally wrong, and I'm sure the internet
out of here. Really?
I'm sure the internet will correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah,
because I know they submitted their 92 A3. So why would they submit two different pistols?
Oh, because the thing asked for striker fire. They did not ask for that. They threw that 92. Yeah.
You're right. So maybe I'm wrong. I've been wrong before. It happens.
Yeah.
Don't tell any of my exes, because, I refuse to admit that to them.
Well, listen, you can't trust those guys anyway.
I see what you did there.
Designed largely for the U.S. Army's M17 modular handgun system competition.
Oh, there you go. I was totally wrong. I can admit it.
Yeah, and yes, they offered both at the same time because Beretta's smart.
Right.
they were,
Maybe
they were
they'll
like,
take you. Hey, the more lines you got out, the more better chance you got to catch a fish, right?
let
That's
me go
right.
ahead and tell you this one, and this is real quick. Um, Poland, back pre-World War II, said they wanted a pistol for their military, and they wanted something 32 ACP. So everybody came up with these little pocket pistols, and FN showed up with a pocket pistol also, but they also showed up for something they were working on called the high power. So everybody's shooting all these guns to qualify, and the Polish
Never
officers
heard
like,
of her.
let me try out this high power thing. And they shot it and was like, this is really impressive. Too bad it's not, what we're asking for this test. Well, nothing really passed with flying colors. So 2 years later, they had another pistol competition. They brought the high power out again. And they were like, you know what? Keep all these 32s. We're buying this. So, yeah, that's how the high power, Browning high power, or FN high power, almost got adopted by the Polish military. It didn't get adopted by the Polish military because FN had some issues, and Poland just stole the design and made their own version.
Yeah.
But back to the original question. So go shoot one. Go to a range that has them for rent. Go shoot it and see
Mm-hmm.
what you think. Man, like I said, I have smaller hands than most gentlemen, and I really was able to control the gun very, very well in the recoil. And like I said, I only put a magazine or two through it. So I'm totally not an expert on the gun. But I absolutely did not dislike it. Again,
Hey,
if you're a pin and reset guy, you're not gonna like the gun. But
you
if
know
you're
what I'm
a pin and
thinking?
reset guy, you need to update your shooting technique.
Look at holsters. All right.
That's
You can get a
aftermarket's a
holster for
thing.
it.
Yep.
Aftermarket is a thing, but most holster makers, I mean, come on, dude, it's Beretta. It's not like you're asking for a holster for a Star, a semi-automatic.
Or a
So you should be,
CZ75 like Tony has.
yeah, an original CZ75, which is a problem, obviously.
I know
So
two
you should be,
people that like CZ75s. Oddly
uh,
enough, both of them are podcasters. Hmm.
uh, well, there's a guy called Colonel Jeff Cooper. He really likes CZ75s too.
Yeah,
So
he's dead.
that's all right. He's awesome. He's better dead than you are alive. Shut up. So,
That's probably true.
what else? Aftermarket. I think a lot's made out of aftermarket when most people, dude, Glock is the Swiss Army knife everybody puts stuff on. But truthfully, nobody's putting other stuff on other things because, well, other things work better than Glock's Gen 1 through 4. So 5, they finally figured out how to do things right. But truthfully, they have an aftermarket because they need one. There's not a large aftermarket for VP9s because VP9s and PPQs are better than Glocks out of the box. That
Yeah,
simple.
so when you look in aftermarket, you're looking for sights and you're looking for holsters because those are the two most customizable things.
Mm-hmm.
No two sights are going to work for the same people, and holsters are a thing. When you get into triggers and barrels and stuff, all that stuff's cool. And being a Glock guy, I love all that stuff. But
it's not a
honestly,
necessity.
if they offer sights and they offer holsters for it, it's good enough.
That's good enough. And
Yep.
mags, find out how much
And mags,
cost.
because you're going to want 10, 20 mags for your gun.
At least you want 5. At least you want 5.
At bare minimum.
Bare
5.
minimum 5 because you got to have something to practice with, and you got to have something for actual self-defense. So yeah, stripping those mags out, throwing them on the ground at the range, yeah, those are your practice mags.
Yeah.
Your mags that you depend your life and family on, mark those suckers, and those are only for that purpose.
And if you carry 2 mags, like one in the gun, one on your person, you don't want to unload those every time you go to the range, and you want at least 3 mags to go to the range. So
Only 3
again,
to go to the
minimum
range?
5.
Only 3 to go to the range?
I mean,
Minimum.
I had 350 rounds loaded in mags on my way to my last class, like in a box, because I'm like, I ain't jamming mags. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And see, it's illegal in Jersey for me to roll around with loaded mags.
Well, communism.
Yeah, I'm just saying there's a difference though. I mean, you're going to carry 3-4 mags empty. You want to at least load them up once at the beginning, like when you're setting up your target and everything, and at least have that many so you're not loading all day.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, Tony.
All right. Hey, let's talk about the Second Is for Everyone diversity shoot. We're done for the year. We'll kick back off February. So what we're going to do right now is go. You can help us out to get Goodyear off to a better start by donating to the Second Is for Everyone on GoFundMe, becoming a patron at Patreon. You want to do this because we're going to have guns for 2019. We have an AR. I'll be posting pictures up soon that you can win, but it has to be $10 and above. Patron. We also got the knives back. Finally got them. They're lasered. They also have serial numbers on each one. When we draw a winning ticket, I'm writing a personal letter to you thanking for supporting us and sending you this custom knife or customized knife for firearms serialized by us. So that's what we're doing. If you want to buy a t-shirt, 1022 clothing, you can get those out by Christmas and get it to your friends. That's awesome because 2019 should be busy politically for us gun people. We need to be active in 2019 because it's getting worse and worse. So since I don't have anything to publicize, if you guys are listening, Sunday, we're having a social shoot down at Fort Dix, Sean and myself. So go to Black Bag Resources and pick up a ticket. We're going to be hanging, shooting different guns. I'm bringing my 1917 infield, and we're going to rock and roll with some 30-06 rounds downrange. And you can shoot a gun that's celebrating its like 101 birthday this year for the centennial of the end of World War I. So we're having fun. Come out, shoot guns this Sunday at Range 14 on Fort Dix. Go to Black Bag Resources to buy a ticket. And as soon as we have the schedule for 2019, Second Is for Everybody diversity shoots, we will be putting them up.
Awesome.
Thanks, as always.
Yep.
Awesome. And since Chad voice sucks,
it does.
Watch this. Send questions, comments, or feedback to gunandgearreview@gmail.com. Remember to subscribe and leave us a review on iTunes. Check.
How's that for him?
Whoa! Did you just kill him?
Yeah,
I just mute him.
Man, see, I was totally trying to take over your job here. You're all like, oh, my voice sucks. I'm sick. Okay, go ahead. Go ahead. Do your thing.
Well, where was I at? Oh, check out all the other shows on the Firearms Radio Network at firearmsradio.tv. Be sure to visit the Firearms Insider for reviews and
listen to that voice, baby. Listen to that voice, baby.
Check us out on Facebook and Instagram at Firearms Insider. Thank you for listening to the largest pound for pound podcast on the network. And that's all, folks.
Bye, Felicia.
Or as Chad would say, bye, Felicia.
Bye, Felicia. I don't need your steel.